They didn't arrive with warships or orbital strikes. No grand battles lit up the sky. No sirens, no mushroom clouds, no heroic last stands. It started with whispers, quiet ones, in dreams and thoughts, in the back of your skull where instinct and memory intertwine. The first invasion wasn't physical. It was cognitive. They call it the Shroud Protocol now. But back then, we just called it madness. One by one, people started acting strange. Soldiers lost all sense of direction mid-mission. Scientists forgot basic physics. Parents couldn't remember their children's names. And the worst part? They knew they were forgetting. Knew their thoughts weren't their own. It was like a parasite had slipped into our collective brain and was learning how we tick from the inside out. They weren't here to blow up cities. They were here to overwrite us. We never saw their faces, only the consequences. It took weeks to confirm it wasn't some Earth-based pathogen. The first clue came from the ISS. An astronaut lost all ability to read, just reading, not speaking, not comprehension. She stared at the words on the screen as if they were ancient runes, neurologically intact. But something had reached inside and flipped a switch. When ground control asked for an explanation, she tore off her headset and screamed for 32 minutes straight before biting through her own tongue. She bled out in microgravity, twitching, wordless. We thought we were up against a psychic virus, a mimetic weapon, maybe some AI breach. But the truth was worse. The enemy wasn't just accessing our minds. They were interfacing, downloading everything that made us human like data from a corrupted server. Memories, morality, emotion. And with each mind they touched, they learned how to do it better, cleaner, faster. The infection spread not through touch or air, but thought. By the time the UN shut down global networks, they'd already burrowed into billions of synapses. The thing is, humanity breaks under pressure, but we also sharpen. Our madness is teeth. We burn ourselves to hurt the ones who hurt us. So the scientists build a trap, not a bunker or bomb, but a thought, a concept, a viral payload hidden in the deepest recesses of human trauma. They called it Project Gorgon. It was beautiful in a horrific way, something you couldn't look at directly, not even in simulation. The researchers who designed it had to rotate shifts every 10 minutes, even with countermeasures. One misstep, and your brain melted from the inside. But that was the point. Project Gorgon wasn't meant to kill us. It was meant to infect them. We uploaded it into our collective consciousness, using every scrap of neural tech we had. Dream jacket machines, subliminal wave broadcasters, trauma-sculpted hallucination loops. Entire cities volunteered to go dark, shutting off light, sound, identity, until only the signal remained. The psychic equivalent of a nuclear warhead wrapped in suffering. We broadcast our nightmares into the void. The enemy took the bait. They wanted everything. Wanted our love, our war, our language, our fear. They wanted to wear us like skin. But when they touched Gorgon, they didn't understand what they'd bitten into. This wasn't just data. It was the worst of us, weaponized. PTSD loops so deep they carved new memories. Echoes of genocides rendered in pure emotion. The guilt of a mother losing her child on repeat. The horror of a soldier digging through the ash of a burnt-out school for body parts. They didn't just learn about humanity. They felt it, and it broke them. One by one, their signals began to fracture. In the deep listening posts buried beneath the Andes, operators recorded alien scream patterns, ultrasonic tones writhing with pain and disbelief. In orbit, defense satellites tracked psychic implosions like stars dying. They were killing themselves, tearing their own minds apart, not from defeat, but from understanding. We didn't fight them with weapons. We made them human. Their hive collapsed in less than a day. The blackout ended. The skies cleared. People cried, laughed, screamed, died. Some from relief, some from the leftover residue of the invasion. But we survived, not unchanged. Never that. We'd become something else. Something meaner. Harder. Afterward, There were questions. What were they? Where did they come from? Why didn't they just destroy us? The answers didn't matter. What mattered was how we won. Project Gorgon was never shut down. It evolved. The psychic residue it left in our species couldn't be undone. Now, even thinking certain patterns too long triggers episodes. Panic attacks, seizures, hallucinations. We carry the weapon inside us. We are the payload now. Sometimes in the recovery bunkers, a veteran will wake up screaming, not from a nightmare, but from someone else's. Memories implanted during the Shroud days still echo. Children born after the invasion draw symbols they've never seen. Whisper names no human ever had. Whatever touched us left fingerprints. But the galaxy knows now. Knows what happens when you try to steal what makes us human. You don't get gods. You get monsters. And the monsters remember. We never heard from the invaders again. No signals. No threats. Nothing. Until last week. A probe drifted into our system, slow and broken, transmitting one thing. A message. Not in our language. Not in theirs. Just emotion. Raw. Terrified. Like a scream through the vacuum. Desperate. Pleading. They're not coming to conquer anymore. They're running. From something else. Something worse. Maybe they tried to infect another species. Maybe it turned their own weapon back on them. Maybe it's something new. We don't know. We don't care. Because whatever it is, it learned about us. And it kept going.